Hello and welcome to another episode of Mr. Kung Has Problems. This is the last lesson of the last module of grade 4, Module 7, Lesson 18. And unbelievably, there's not actually any homework today. So I'm going to take a look a little bit at the reflection pages. Depending on how your teacher uses them, you might have these reflection pages in class or you might have them as a homework assignment. So I want to take a look at those reflection pages and just talk over with you a little bit what you might be thinking about as you're going through that reflection. So let's take a look at problem number 1 of the reflection. Reflection number 1 says, why do you think vocabulary was such an important part of 4th grade math? How does vocabulary help you in math? This is a question that's a good one to think about. You might think about vocabulary as a way of understanding things in your other subjects, and you might think about it that way in mathematics as well too. So I'm going to leave you to mull this one over, to think through why you think vocabulary was such a big part of 4th grade math and how it helps you. But I want to take a look at number 2 and suggest some areas to think about. Number 2, which vocabulary terms do you know well, and which would you like to improve upon? And here, I think I can go from my experience as a math teacher. It seems to me that we struggle the most with vocabulary that's related to geometry, so different shapes and figures that we cover in 4th grade math. We struggle with sometimes remembering what the particular vocabulary is, and sometimes we struggle with the particular meanings of what those vocabulary items are. I'm sure you can think of some of the unusual shapes that we discuss and the unusual shape names that we discuss in geometry portions of 4th grade math. And so those are some of the words I'm thinking. I'm not going to name any of them so that I don't want to prejudice you for what you're thinking of, but that's one area. Another area that I know we struggle with is sometimes while we know the basic operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, we struggle with the vocabulary of what the different parts are of those problems. And again, I'm not going to get into the specific vocabulary there, but we might describe a fraction as being, the number on top and the number on bottom. We might describe, we might struggle for the particular names for the two numbers in an addition problem or in a subtraction problem, or especially in a division problem. So those are areas that I know that my students have struggled with in the past. I hope that those ring some bells for you. And if not, fantastic. I hope you're fluent in all aspects of vocabulary for 4th grade math. And as a final note, I just want to thank you for sticking with me here for the the long series of videos. This is my first year teaching 4th grade math, and so this was a big deal to help out with both your homework and to help parents out who might be needing help with a new kind of math. And I really appreciate that you're sticking with me here to the end. If you really are listening to this video after having listened to or watched a large number of the videos before, I want to give you a special thanks. Drop me a comment on YouTube. I'd love to hear from you that you got to the very end of it. By my count, this is my 154th video of the year. So I really look forward to hearing from people who got all the way to the end. Thanks so much for joining me for the final episode of 4th grade math for Mr. Kung Has Problems. Take care. Bye-bye.